guys, we have ourselves a huge problem in this Kansas City Chiefs fans case. I've been complaining since day one about how law enforcement has been handling this case. I think it's crazy. I think it's wild that they basically stated that there was no foul play. And under 24 hours, they ruled out foul play before an autopsy report, before a toxicology report. And law enforcement hasn't been talking to the families at all. And I've been criticizing law enforcement. The family has as well. I know that frustrates some people, but sometimes it just feels like law enforcement isn't doing their job. And in this case, law enforcement hasn't done anything to make me feel confident or the families feel confident that they're really doing their job and that they're conducting a thorough investigation. Hell, they came out after like a day or two and was like, hey, we're 100% not investigating this as a homicide. So I've been wondering and I've been questioning, how thorough of an investigation did they do at that home? What evidence did they collect? What did they look for? Or did they even do their jobs at all? Well, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of frustrated right now, but the families one of the families was just on the news, and they revealed that yes, some of their son's items were left in Jordan's home. His jacket, some other items. I don't think they can really get into the specifics. But here is the real kicker. Here is the real frustrating part. Not only were these items in Jordan's home, the police, the investigators, they never gathered these items. They left them right there in Jordan's house. This is key pieces of evidence. They left it right in Jordan's house. They didn't collect it. I don't even know if they went through it. So not only did they leave these key pieces of evidence right in Jordan's house, they left the evidence with Jordan. The families had to get some of the belongings. They had to get their son's belongings through a mutual friend. Jordan or someone with Jordan had to drop these items off to a mutual friend, and then the families got the items. At least that's the way it's being explained right now. How wild is that? That not only did you leave these items behind, which are crucial to your investigation. If a guy's freezing to death outside, we need to know, why is his jacket inside? What's in his jacket? Is there a bottle? Is there a pill bottle? Is there a baggie? Who knows what type of evidence could have been in the clothing or the items left behind. And we don't even know the full list of items. But they left it. They didn't even collect it. They probably didn't look through it. And not only was it left behind at the scene of the crime, or at the scene where these guys died, it was left behind with Jordan. So if there is anything in there of value or of worth, anything that could help this investigation, it's gone. It's gone. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, and I've seen law enforcement drop the ball, but I've never seen something like this. This is just, it's crazy. I'm almost at a loss for words. So as I gather my thoughts, I'm going to go ahead and roll this news clip. I need a huge favor from you all, though. Hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. I'm going to roll this news clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
With more proof that something ain't right in Kansas City. You know, all this noise about Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs, and not enough attention focused on this case. And that may include the police's attention. You got 3 young men, all in their 30s, found dead after watching a Chiefs game, hanging out at their friend's house. But their bodies were found frozen 2 days later, not in the house, in their friend's backyard. And it wasn't the friend who found them. His name is Jordan Willis. He claims he has no idea what led to their death. But it does seem that cops initially were not so sure about his story. You seen this video? It's from a neighbor's phone, I think. Appears to show Willis in cuffs outside the house. That's him and a dog. We have some questions about the dogs also. At some point, maybe they'll show the video, maybe they won't. There it is. Okay. There are cars outside. There's police outside. I'm told if you look in there close under the circle, it's the police talking to him and that he may have had cuffs on. I don't know. I can't confirm it. But certainly, he was getting some police attention initially when someone else found the bodies at the house. Who? A concerned family member. Now, he wasn't arrested. Now, we're told police don't suspect foul play. Why? No gunshots, no stab wounds, no signs of violence, and obviously they didn't get anything out of him. But did they try? I mean, why did these young men die? It's going to come down to the toxicology, especially if Willis or another can't or won't explain what happened in that house and how they wound up outside and eventually dead. And the wait has been an eternity for the families, not helped by their claims that police have not been talking to them at all, ever. Now, you can say, let them investigate. Listen, I've been doing this a long time, okay? The state is making the case. The state represents the crime, okay? The law versus the criminal. The victim, okay, is now represented by those families, and the authorities always talk to them, but not here. So tonight we have new concerns and new information from the parents of one of the men who died at that house, Ricky Johnson. Let's bring in Ricky Johnson's father, Ricky Johnson Sr., and Linda Johnson, Ricky Johnson's stepmom. Mr. Johnson, thank you for joining us again. And Linda, thank you for making the time to do this. How are you two doing? How are you doing, Linda?
We're doing okay.
We're hanging in there as we can.
Good, thank you. Linda, you and I were talking earlier today about what doesn't make sense to you here. First, what have you learned that is not public information for the rest of us?
Well, I had received some personal belongings from Ricky, my son. They were left in the house, in Jordan's house. And he took them over to a friend's house for us to grab them.
So the police didn't have them, and it makes you ask questions about how thorough the investigation was, correct?
Right. They were left in Jordan's house, yes, and the police did not grab them.
And what does that mean to you?
It just means that they weren't thoroughly looking everything over in the house. They weren't looking at it as a crime scene.
Now, the good piece of news that I want to let people know, so it's not just all negativity here in terms of getting you some answers. Tomorrow you have a big meeting. Who's it with and what does it mean to you?
Officials at the Platte County prosecuting attorney of Platte County.
But that's a different police department. Right, Ricky, but that's a different police department
yes.
than the one that was initially investigating the case. Why the switch? What do you know about it?
We know nothing.
I probably think that my attorney has stepped in and said some things to try to help them investigate it, so they have moved it to Platte County, my understanding.
And Platte County is the local police, so maybe at least you'll start to get some information about what's happening.
I do not know what is going on in this case anymore at this point. I do not know. It's like I thought we were getting to a point where this case was winding down. We weren't going to hear much. And now it's like all of these explosive details are coming out. And now any shred, and I didn't have much confidence in the investigators in this case, but any shred of confidence you had is thrown out the window. And now it's like a different police department is taking over. What is really going on here? What is really going on here? What type of connections does Jordan have? And I'm not saying that Jordan has connections for sure, but this is just wild to me. You know, now all of a sudden, not only... it's blowing my mind that someone could die in a backyard and you just leave these belongings right there in the home with Jordan? I just don't get it. I don't get it. But not only do we now know that they damn sure did not conduct a thorough investigation of that crime scene, or we don't know if it's a crime scene, but they did not conduct a thorough investigation of the scene. If they did, those items should have been with police. They should have been with law enforcement. The family shouldn't be getting their son's items through a mutual friend after Jordan or someone close to Jordan had to drop it off. That's crazy. But now we got another police department taking over. I don't know what's going on with that situation. I don't know if this was something that, as the man mentioned, maybe his lawyer was pressing for it or what, but we're going to have to figure out and get to the bottom of why this has shifted. So are we going to deal with a new set of investigators, or are new people going to take over the case? Or have they basically just said, oh, we're going to let you deal with this police department? Maybe this department is tired of hearing from the family, so they dump it off on another department. I don't know what's going on here. It seems really weird. Maybe it's just another added layer to the confusion. We're going to have to get to the bottom of it. But for now, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you're feeling generous, you can donate to the channel via CashApp, or you can donate via Super Thanks, or for free. You can help the channel by liking the video, subscribing, ringing that notification bell, and all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.